Mom. Dad. Juliet. Nui. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. How are you doing, Neve?
Pancake Friday.
Pancake Friday. Damn, I was so proud of singing the song that I completely blanked. Damn. Okay, well, everybody, welcome back to Pancake Friday.
Pancake Friday.
It's your host Derek with my co-host
Neve.
So I think first thing to say, I believe it's been, what, is it 6 weeks now or 8 weeks?
6 weeks.
6 weeks since a accident. Wow, we are on 6 weeks without an accident. We went 2 months straight before, so we were two weeks away from tying that, 3 weeks away from champing up.
Nice.
I like that. I'm proud of that.
Let's go.
That's a good stat to have. I think we're gonna talk quite a bit about our. How was the week for you, Neve? Let's start with, I guess, we went to Colin's performance.
Yeah, we did. That was really fun, actually. Yeah. I had a really good time.
Yeah, me too.
I just really like watching anything live. Like music, comedy, shows.
Yeah, like
plays, anything.
So
really.
Just for the people listening, we went to Theater Under the Stars in Stanley Park at the Malkin Bowl. First off, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know that's where the Malkin Bowl was and that all existed. I knew the little tea shop was there, but I didn't know that other thing existed.
I had no idea it was there.
And then secondly, my coworker Colin, he was the lead in it. And I did not realize that it was as big time as it was. I was under the assumption it was kind of like I thought he was good, but I thought it was more like low key. Maybe he did it in like university.
Yeah.
But he was like full on.
Well, yeah, because I looked into it afterwards, and you have to be like a registered like actor, like in like the actors union.
Crazy.
And like the old.
Yeah, like his hair on, and that wasn't his normal hairstyle at all.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he just showed up one day at work with like that was his style, and now it's like, oh, it all makes sense.
Yeah, he was really, really good, actually. Yeah, the whole performance was really good. I was super impressed with the kids in the performance.
Some of those kids were 12. He said the kids that were playing instruments were 12 years old.
Yeah.
And so it was School of Rock, Colin, and then the four of the kids, the drummer, the bass, the guitar, and the keyboard, all played live instruments the entire time.
Yeah, which
it was
crazy.
Nuts. Yeah, and they were all just so good. Like, yeah. I agree. I was so impressed, and I honestly think you can impress me pretty easily with theater, but that was pretty freaking impressive.
Yeah, it was super impressive.
I honestly, and I love theater. I think it's all so cool, like the singing, dancing, and acting of it all. It's just so far out of my wheelhouse that I've just never, I could never have done it, but I have always thought it's super fun.
It's super fun, and it made me miss performing as well. I would love to get back. There's just not really a scene for it, and
well, I'll ask Colin. There must be a scene for it.
But I'm not. I wouldn't be able to do it at Colin's level.
Well, no, but I know, but I'm sure he must know the community of it all.
Maybe, I guess. When I went to Granville Island the other day, and they have a ton of arty stuff over there because that's also where that's the arts district. Yeah, the arts.
I mean, you could do what Colin does.
No.
Yeah, no.
Like,
no disrespect, Colin's crazy.
Colin, you have to be at a professional level to do what Colin did. Yeah. I would love to do something like amateur dramatics or something like that. I think I could do it if it was just the acting. Like, I'd be so down to do Bard on the Beach. Right. But I just don't think I can sing and dance, but I just don't think I would be at the same level as Colin and the people in that show.
Well, yeah, I mean, Colin clearly is unreal.
Yeah, they were insanely good.
His fiance played Hermione Granger like professionally in the Toronto like
Harry Potter the
Harry
musical.
Potter musical.
Yeah.
So like yeah, they're pretty ballin'.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird though. One thing I thought was so crazy about it was, so again, like in my ignorance, I just literally had no clue really what we were going to see until we were there. And as soon as we got there, I heard people around it. No one was negative, but people were talking about it like very like, oh, I wonder if this person, like if the actors will be good, and oh, is the set and all this stuff like that. And it's weird because I was just going there more to like enjoy it and see like a coworker perform. But then you realize there's a whole world of like judgment. It's like me playing soccer, but it's obviously that, I mean, that's a professional level, but it comes with all this like judgment that goes with it. And I just didn't really think about that until I was there and I could hear people and I was like, oh shit.
So for those of you who used to perform pretty regularly, and we were like a youth amateur dramatics group that it was kind of like anywhere from like 12 to 25-year-olds in our kind of like amateur dramatics group that we were in, and so it wasn't like anything big or anything. It was just at the local theater in Street we'd perform, and then we moved to Bridgewater.
Right.
But we would get like write-ups. We would get like reviews in the newspapers and stuff.
Did people thrash you or were they nice?
No, I don't think we ever got like thrashed. But you could tell like if it wasn't a good review versus when it was a good review.
Yeah, like they maybe wouldn't like shit talk you, but like they wouldn't say nice things every time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So what's the theater in Street? You know, Centennial Theater where we went for my mom's.
Yeah.
Is it like that size?
No, bigger than that.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like that size on the bottom level, and then there's an upper level as well.
I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but when I was in grade 8 or 7, we went and performed with the grade 8s in band, and I was a bass guitar, and they made me go off the stage, but you could see the neck of my guitar on there. It's kind of like being in the performance. I actually think it's funny. After we watched that, I was thinking why I didn't do theater stuff or anything musically inclined like that. And every time, the people that taught me it ruined my dreams. Like me and Matt Epic. Matt Epic loves music, so he's still stuck with it, but he loves it. Yeah. But like, you know, my affinity to music. Like I think music's cool and I listen to songs, it's cool, but I just don't really care about it.
Yeah.
And I used to play my what was it? I used to play trumpet in elementary school, and they'd make us do these where you'd stand up in front of the whole class and you'd have to play the part alone. Yeah. And I'd be like, it's just so bad. I never practiced. I just hated it. Yeah. But it was also because my teacher, like everyone would laugh at me, and the teachers would be like, you suck. And I'd be like, I know, like I hate this. And then in high school in drama, I did drama. Yeah. And I did one thing of it and I acted and I loved it. I thought it was so fun. Yeah. And then we were supposed to do an improv unit. And the teacher was such a wacko. Like he sucked dick. I hated him. Mr. Mendoza, he also, I think, was gay but couldn't say it because he was at a Catholic school, right? So but he was so clearly gay. Like he'd wear like scarves and stuff. Oh yeah, 100%. And he'd be like, oh my gosh, this is so fabulous, and like just everything's so gay. Yeah. But I was doing like the kind of humor I do, which is like, objectively, it's not the like most high class humor. It's always so stupid. Yeah. But like, I was making people laugh in our improv class while doing improv stuff, and he would stop it and he'd be like, you can't this isn't how you do improv. Improv is supposed to be funny because you pretend to walk in a door and the door doesn't open, so it's locked and it's hard or something. It's not like this. And I was like, what? And so like anytime I just got shot down by the arts. That's
so lame. I think that's the thing of like, you have to I mean, it's true with anything really. To thrive in something, you have to be able to do it without fear of judgment.
Absolutely.
And like as soon as somebody like judges you and tells you you're crap, then you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Well, that's one thing that that I just don't like about all that. Like I also feel this way about science. It's the same thing. Any of these like things that I guess you could call like an a institution, like educational institution or a artistic one, whatever you want to call
Right.
that grouping, is people. A lot of people are happy for other people, but when you get into the higher end of whatever that is, whether it be education or arts or something, people don't want to see you succeed because they want to succeed a lot of the time.
Well, yeah, and I mean especially in the arts industry.
Yeah.
Like because I studied performing arts at college for 2 years. Like that was all I did all day every day, right? It was like it was called a BTEC. I don't know if you have BTECs here, but it's like a vocational course. So it's like woodworking. So, you know, if you do woodworking at community college, that's all you do every day, all day. Right. So I did performing arts for 2 years, all day, every day, from 16 to 18.
Okay.
And it's a really like cutthroat. So after we were applying for universities, in my second year, I took a year out because I had some personal stuff going on. But all of my friends who were like applying and auditioning for these universities, because with arts universities, you have to go and audition, right? It's not based around grades, like you go. I had friends that came back and they were like, I was told they already had a fat girl and they didn't need another fat girl. So I didn't get into that one. Or like
the school said that?
Yeah. The school said that. One of my instructors used to
you were the fat girl?
Not me. This wasn't me.
Oh.
I'm just my friend.
Oh, I was like, what?
Yeah, like they'd be like, "Oh, we already have a funny fat girl, you know? So we don't need you."
I was like, why are they calling you the fat girl?
No, it wasn't me. I was like 90 pounds. I didn't go to any of the auditions because I didn't want to go any further with performing arts. But yeah, and then I had friends that like they already had like a girl that looked kind of like her. They'd already accepted one, so they didn't need her. You know, they already had someone that had her vocal range. They already had someone that had her dance ability. You know, it's like, it's a really cutthroat industry. And I think maybe one or two of the people I went to college with are actually like working in that industry now because it's so cutthroat.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, and I also think there's probably a lot of nepotism in it too.
Yeah,
it's like
I'd say there's
like
probably
that. Like I guarantee you, because like especially with things like performing arts, as much as you have to be good, like there's like what I'm talking about is obviously all these people are talented, but like you also, if your parent is someone, you get to go to the better things to learn to do this stuff better at a younger age, and then when you get there, it's like anything, it's like Hollywood, like same thing, like, oh, how do these people get there? Well, it's like, well, their parents were there.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's one thing I've just always felt with the performing arts is it is very judgmental, like almost ironically for how like the people are when you think of like the drama arts people, and then when you start getting into the nitty gritty of it as a thing, people get very like judgy and
it's hyper competitive.
Yeah, well, that's what it is too, is like someone will always be like, oh, you were a little flat or something, just because they don't like you.
And like it's just a really
Would you want to get back into performing arts or singing or anything?
I would for sure want to get like back into it at kind of like low level, like amateur dramatics kind of.
I'll tell Colin you think you could do better than him.
please do not, because I was like, I have nothing to back that up.
I go up to Colin and he's like, yo, Derek, I really appreciate you being at the show. It was awesome. And I go, yeah, it was good, but Neve thinks she's better than you. No. If for some weird reason Colin heard this, Colin, that was absolutely phenomenal.
It was really, really phenomenal.
I think there were so many cool things he did, but at the end, you know, when the one was singing like,
Yeah.
And then like Colin, but his one was so crazy. I was like, oh, what?
Yeah. There's some. I want to get you more into like seeing musicals and stuff because they actually come to Vancouver pretty
I'll go
often.
watch them. It's
yeah.
all really, it's
Yeah,
like
I
I
know.
said, it's just not my like main thing, but it's not
Yeah.
like I'm against them at all.
No,
Like some
I think they're
musicals
really
I
fun.
won't want to go watch.
Yeah.
But that's not because it's a musical. It's just I probably wouldn't want to watch like that specific one.
Yeah.
Because like some of them, like I'm not interested in seeing Hamilton.
You're not?
I'm just joking. Hamilton is Neve's favorite.
It's not my favorite. It's one of my favorites. It's a fantastic musical, and I think I made you watch it on Disney.
Yeah.
And then you fell asleep.
Let's be fair. I always fall asleep.
Yeah,
to
that's very
everything.
true. That's very true.
I'm still saving the second half of the season finale of House of Dragons. I did that on purpose, though.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Well, I think you should do it, though. Honestly, I think you should
Yeah.
even just look into, I don't know, if there must be something, like the Centennial Theater somewhere must have like a
I've looked
drop-in-
into it. There are places, like there's one around that I could audition for. The only thing is like I had so much fun doing it before, but it was also because all of my friends did it. Like that's how I know all of my friends is through performing. And I don't know if I'd enjoy it as much if it's with one, strangers, and two, Vancouverite strangers, because no offense, like they kind of suck.
Oh my, so much hate. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much hate for you to Vancouver. It's crazy.
It's not, no. It's not Vancouver. It's the people in Vancouver.
That's so brutal.
And that's a general term. Anyone who's listening to this doesn't apply to you because we have a good friend group of good people. But generally, the people I meet in Vancouver are sucky.
I mean, I do agree. There's a lot of shitty people.
Yeah, there you go.
You can't slag us that much. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'd say is, like, okay, first off, my mom said you could join her choir. She said she knows you probably think it's old ladies, but you could just go join and sing. It's every Tuesday.
Yeah, see, I appreciate her saying that, but if I were to do it, I don't want to like just sing. Like I love singing.
Yeah.
But and I love dancing, but my forte is acting. Like not to toot my own horn, I'm a really fucking good actor.
Well, because that's the thing is like if you were to do any acting performing stuff,
Yeah.
you'd have to commit to being with a group of people.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Which
not
is
really
like,
your thing.
Yeah. Like I don't really like people. But I would do something like and this is what I mean when I'm like I don't know if I don't really think there's a scene for it. I would love to be in like a company that does Shakespeare. Because I love performing Shakespeare. I think Shakespeare is like magic. It's fucking awesome to watch. It's awesome to like perform. There's such a rhythm to it. I don't know if you know what iambic pentameter is, but it's all the prose that like Shakespeare's written in.
Yeah,
I've
heard of it and you've talked
it's
about it.
It's really incredible. I just love Shakespeare. So I would love to do something like that or some kind of like play.
That'd be cool, and then your daughter could come see you in a play.
Yeah.
It'd be a pretty cool thing to show her.
Yeah. I think if Juliet was ever like, oh, Mom, I want to start performing, I would 100% like try and like set up like a youth theater group or something.
Nice.
And give her all the main roles, even if she was the worst.
That's how it works. No, absolutely. Yeah. That's what I expect. Okay, well, I've got some topics here.
Yeah, shoot.
Okay, so first things first. English people don't know what Renaissance fairs are. What's that about?
Well, we don't really have them in the UK, or if we do, it's not called a Renaissance fair.
So, like, you don't have a thing where people dress up like in olden times and pretend to be like, yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of like battle reenactments
I
that
guess
people
that's
do in England.
okay. So I was talking to Joach about this yesterday. Is a Renaissance fair. So to me, a Renaissance fair was like old Englishy times things, right?
Yeah, like
but then
medieval
he
times.
said like medieval times. But then he said like it's French, and
Well, I mean that makes sense in terms of Renaissance.
yeah. But I think it is a medieval English thing, but I'm not sure. Or is it a medieval French thing? Because is there that much of a difference in terms of you like dress up in old?
Yeah, I think, well, I think, wasn't France occupied by England in that time?
No, I think it's no.
I think it was.
Was it? I don't know. I honestly, I thought France and England kind of both coexisted at the same time, but they were just kind of like these small little
France,
groups.
yeah, but France was under English rule up until the French Revolution.
Really?
Do you know? Yeah. Do you know how I know that?
How?
It wasn't through history. The musical Les Mis is set during the French Revolution, which is after the American Revolution.
Okay, so is Les Mis a true story?
No,
Oh.
but it's based around a true occurrence
Okay,
of
so
events.
wait. How is it possible that France was part of England and then they separated and became French?
No, it wasn't part of England. They were English occupied, just the same as the US and Canada were in the British Empire, right? You know, the American Revolution,
You know what the biggest mistake the English made was?
conquering everyone.
No,
because we're G's.
No, yeah, well, we are G's. Yeah, represent. No, it's the fact that when they conquered, they gave Quebec to the French, and they didn't get rid of all the French people. Imagine the world without French.
That would be a good world.
We'd still have the croissant.
No hate to French people, but you suck.
You suck. Elliot, you suck.
Is Elliot French?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Elliot.
No,
you do
I'm
suck.
I'm not sorry, Frenchie. Go take some bonjours right in the face.
Go eat a baguette, you dirty frog.
Okay.
Moving
Fuck
on.
you, Elliot, you French bastard.
We love you, Elliot.
Debatable.
No.
No, I do love you, Elliot. Okay. So this is, you know this, but I just want to bring it up. Dogs respond to pointing
They
far
do.
better outside of humans. Basically, dogs are the second, like the other thing that understands pointing.
Yeah.
Really interesting because like I just kind of assumed pointing was a pretty obvious thing. Like if you see something and it's like gesturing in a certain direction, you must just assume, because like there's dogs that point with their nose, like the pointers and stuff like that. But apparently it's like a high-end skill to actually understand that.
Monkeys don't even understand pointing.
Yeah, which that's what because you would have assumed for sure if anything on the planet outside of humans would understand pointing, it would have been the monkey because they have hands.
Yeah.
But it's just like, so if a monkey points, they're like, oh, it's pointing over there. And then if we point, they're like, what is he doing?
What is that crazy man doing?
What is that hairless ape doing? Okay. Where do I want to take this one? This is just, oh, I'm pissed off. I'm going to start with this one because the next one pisses me off a lot.
Okay.
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 Pisses me off. Okay, tourist souvenirs are shitty and cheap, and there's nothing we can do about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So like this is what bothers me is like they're literally the shittiest junk. Mm-hmm. But when you go somewhere, you're going to buy them.
Yeah.
And it really bothers me because like just make better shit at, I don't know. I just hate how shitty souvenirs are, but everyone's getting, like, it's just a wasted market. And then like you get, like, for example, we have all these skulls in here.
Yeah.
And these skulls are cool.
They're so cool.
They're super cool.
And those weren't cheap.
No, they're not. I know. Okay, that's a fair point.
Those, I was like, those skulls were not
No,
cheap.
but,
They
like,
cost me like $40 each.
Yeah, so those are sweet. But a lot of souvenirs you get, they just rack up and they're actually just trash.
Yeah.
Just absolute trash. Not worth having. Yeah, so that's something that just pisses me off. And that I wanted to do that one first to get angry for the one that actually fucking pisses me off.
Okay.
Have you heard of a... Wait, what gym do you go to?
Currently none. But normally Trevor Linden.
No, but what's... I thought you were going to a different one now.
Now I'm going to go to Planet Fitness, yeah.
Oh, this is awkward.
Is that what you're going to talk shit about?
Yeah.
Why?
Do you know what a lunk alarm is?
Yes,
Lunk.
yeah. I used to go to Planet Fitness before, so I know all about the Lunk alarm.
Do you what does it do then? Do you want to explain?
It goes meow if someone drops their weights or like grunts too loud.
Yeah, so yeah, that's so fucking dumb.
Which is ironic because all over the Planet Witness walls is like walls it says like no judgment and like don't judge others and all of this stuff.
So for people it's called the Lunk alarm. It's at Planet Fitness and it's used to fight people who work out too hard.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what it said on the thing. And it's just such horseshit. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's an alarm. It's like a big red
it's a
light,
bell, yeah.
right? And that goes woo, and like I'm sorry to hear that just hurt my soul so much because with the Lunk alarm I was watching this dude that was rating gyms and he went in and he was like pointing it out and he wanted to work out at a week at Planet Fitness to see all this stuff. And I get the idea of if you're dropping weights and chucking weights around, you should never have that.
Yeah.
But people grunting and be like, ugh, and working out,
Yeah.
like, come on.
I think it's because Planet Fitness is such a like beginner gym. Like you're not going to Planet Fitness to like bodybuild, you know what I mean? They don't even have free weights at Planet Fitness. They don't have like squat racks or anything like that. They have Smith machines, but they don't have like, you know, real
They don't they
stuff.
say specifically on their charter you're not allowed to deadlift or squat.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to when I go. So
Yeah, like you can
Fight
use
me.
but you can use the Smith machine and do them, but that's like not technically a deadlift or squat. Like you couldn't go and
No.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do them with because they have like barbells.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it with that,
Yeah,
so
but
they can suck my toes.
it just disappointed me hearing there was a Lunk alarm and all that, and then I found out it was a beginner gym, which is fine. I still just think it's such a lame thing to have.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's I don't know. I just think it's soft.
Yeah, it's super
It's
soft.
just super 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 soft.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know what to say. It is.
Yeah. Okay. I heard this. When did I hear this? Was this yesterday? Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to something yesterday and I don't know if this is true. Oh, yeah, no, this one is true. Okay. First one, 30% of virgins are over 30 people over 30. 30% of them are virgins now. That's a statistic. Like statistically 30% of people over 30 are virgins.
It's cray.
Right? That used to be 8%. Okay.
What are people doing?
Well, there's a few parts to this. First, I was listening to a thing about civil wars, okay? And generally throughout histories, or the history of like the Western world, and that we're talking about like Europe and everywhere, not just North America. If the average age of marriage goes over 28, which it is, there's a civil war, which is really interesting.
Wow.
And a lot of it has to do with it's a signal of the hard times that there are. Or there's just like ideological reasons for why like people, or I shouldn't say, sorry, not ideological. There's financial reasons. What's the word for it? Like everything's out of whack in turn, like wealth disparity.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
like stuff like that, because that's what all starts stacking it
Yeah,
all
well,
up,
I mean,
and
it
it
makes
usually
sense.
usually leads to a civil war.
Yeah,
And right now, that's what's going on.
yeah.
That's like the number is over 28. I think it's like 32 is the.
Well, I can't say I'm shocked by that because, like, it's just too expensive to have a wedding.
Yeah, and that makes sense why there'd be civil wars,
Yeah.
because every time there's a civil war, it always ends up being about, like, a huge part of it is really just wealth disparity.
Yeah.
There is no middle class kind of thing like that. It
Yeah.
always
Well,
happens
I
that way.
feel, yeah, I feel like that's literally what's happening right now.
I do. I think so too. I think that's what's happening.
Do you know what's so wild as well on that same kind of vein of that is I was in work today and I was talking to one of my colleagues and she's awesome. She's really well educated. She works really hard. She has a great job and she's at the moment trying to get her permanent residence. She can't get permanent residence because all of the, I don't know if you know what a LMIA number is. It's a labor market impact assessment number.
Okay.
So companies can apply for them if they can't find like Canadians to fill roles. And the top, like some of the top places that are getting those numbers are places like Tim Hortons. So it's easier for somebody to immigrate that wants to work at Tim Hortons than it is for her who's like a professional, educated, like will have a decent job and a decent salary.
Yeah.
And which is crazy because then like these people that are coming to immigrate to work at Tim Hortons, like how are you going to afford rent? Like
I don't know.
it's just so crazy to me that that's a thing.
Yeah, well, that's I was actually joking with one of my clients today. She's Persian and she's lived here, I think, for like 22 years or something now. And her and her ex, when they moved here, both were engineers, and then they moved here. And I've heard this from so many people now that have moved here that they moved here, and now that they're here, they actually don't know why they moved here, and they don't mean it in a way of they're like fuck this place, but they moved here because, and this, we're talking about people that moved here a while ago. I'm not talking about people that moved here like 5-6 years ago. I'm talking about like they've been alive or living in Vancouver as long, if not longer than me, right? So like quite a while, and they've all been saying things like, yeah, like to be honest, if I had known this is what would have been life, I probably would have stayed back home, because like the promise for them was it was going to be like so much more bountiful. And now that they're here and where everything is,
absolutely not.
It's they're like, it's because, and the thing that sucks is like some of them have stuff because they're not like, they have houses and stuff, but they're more referring to like their kids and stuff because they afforded a house and now they have this like house rich. So they have like, let's say their house is worth $2.5 million and they're like, yeah, it's sweet. And I'm like, I've got a job, so I'm fine, but I can't afford to give my kids a house. I can't afford anything other than the fact I have this super nice or expensive house. And so it's just shocking to hear that.
Yeah. On it, well, it's, you say it's shocking. I'm not shocked at all because I feel exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like exactly the same. I'm very like grateful for what I have here in terms of like my family is here, in terms of like you and Juliet, and Nuo, of course. So I'm grateful for everything that coming here has like given to me in terms of that. But honestly, if like I would have a better life in England in terms of like being able to like live and kind of afford stuff for the pay grade that I'm in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have, you know, friends, my friends that I kind of grew up with and everything like that all kind of have houses and like can just like afford to do a ton of stuff because they live in England. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah. It's
just,
I
mean, I don't know. I feel betrayed by
I just think, yeah.
Here. Like whoever, I don't know if it's the government, whatever, but like it's literally just like I do think the people of Canada got sold down the river.
Yeah,
We did
100%. I would agree.
Foreign interests and I should and like I don't even I shouldn't point it at foreign interests only. Just greed. It doesn't even have to be from far away.
Yeah.
And yeah, we should move on from that because that was yeah. So let's bring it back to the virgin thing.
The virgin thing.
So 30% of people over 30 are virgins now, and it used to be 8%. Now there's so many factors to that. Like I think you could say like pornography is obviously one.
Yeah.
Of them. I think people just in general now aren't as interested in even just dealing with other people. Like the people are just more happy to be doing their own thing. And it's a relationship, and being with a person takes work.
Yeah, so true.
Then there's this one, which I heard, which I thought, I don't know if this is true, but it kind of makes sense to me. Dating apps, 20% of men get 80% of the women.
What?
So I kind of agree.
I don't understand.
Okay, so when you're doing the dating apps, right, as a dude, like I genuinely would say that vast majority of the time I was swiping, I was always just getting like the amount of girls that swiped right on me wasn't that high. Okay, and I know most dudes are like that. It's like like we even make jokes of like it's more just about whatever you can get kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not about what you like, because it's just whoever swipes back. Whereas there's a small group of dudes, let's for example say Alex McMorty, who literally every girl on the app swipes right on him, right? So I think what things like dating apps have done is they've shrunk the dating pool, where all these girls, because they're all using apps, end up going for like such a small percentage of the dudes. And then therefore it's actually like a thing of where it's like you have a whole bunch of girls go, or at least attempting more with a smaller group, that 20%. And obviously they're not literally all, but like you get the thought of what it's saying, right? And so and I do think that, to me, when I heard that, I was like, yeah, it does make sense, this thing of like, because girls are like, oh, I like this girl and this guy, or I like this guy and this and this and this about him. And so it's like, because for girls, we both can agree dating apps are way different than they are for guys, right? So I feel like I don't know, that's, I think, something that just contributes to that as well.
Yeah, I would 100% agree, because like I'd never used dating apps before I moved to Canada.
Right.
And then I moved to Canada, and I was shocked at like, because like I know I'm not bad looking, but I don't think I'm like the fucking like hottest of hot, but every guy that I like swiped right on would match instantly, and I'm like, what is going on here? Like, what is this trickery? But it's because girls are way more like picky, I guess, and not even just like picky in the sense of superficial, but picky in the sense of like, oh, this guy looks good, let me read his bio, oh, there's something I don't like, so no.
Well,
do you know
I don't
what I mean?
even think it's you're picky. I think you have the ability to pick.
Yeah, true.
Like you basically have 80%, like, let's say just by being a girl, you're like, yeah, there's a high likelihood most of the guys that you see are going to swipe right on you. So you get to choose.
Yeah.
Whereas dudes, like I said, like if I only went by girls that I was like full on, like, yeah, I think I could date you.
Yeah.
And I had to let's say I just had like a high standard.
Yeah.
I genuinely think I'd barely have got any matches.
Yeah.
At all. Like, because it was just like that. So.
Well, yeah, and I think that's a thing as well, because a large, majority of girls that are using those apps are not just looking for a lay. They're looking for like to date. Which is just, I think it does work sometimes. I mean, look at like Dax and Sarah. They're about to get married, right? And they met on a dating app. So like it does work. Yeah. But at the same time, like I just think the dating pool would be so different if like we were all just like meeting people authentically. I think that's a big problem with dating in general, is like dating apps and social media, because social media is a dating app now as well. And that's also probably partly to do with why people aren't getting married, because they just see that there's so many more options out there.
Yeah.
You know, like people are always like have the ability to not even pursue other options, but just see that there are other options out there.
Yeah, always.
And just like not content with life.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take a harsh dig at you women.
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like you genuinely, by women's standards today, you have to have a pretty lit Instagram account for them to even consider going on a date with you.
What men do?
Yeah. Like for example, when I first became single,
Yeah.
after my ex, I would go and talk to girls, and we'd have a good time chatting.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, "Yo, can I get your number?" And they go, "Oh, I'll just add you on Instagram." And I'd be like, "I don't have Instagram." And they'd be like, "What?" And then I'd be like, "Yeah, I don't have Instagram." They're like, "I know," and they wouldn't give me their number because of that.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole underlying of like when you're out single dating or like trying to date, how when girls meet you, they always look at your Instagram, and depending on how you portray your Instagram, that does matter to them.
Yeah.
And so there is this thing of like, it's so dumb because to get girls, you have to have a good social media account, which is so dumb.
I think that's a big Vancouver thing.
Okay.
The whole like social media stuff.
Okay.
Because but also I understand it as a female. When I've been single, like, yeah, you do add people on Instagram because like I don't want to give my number out to someone. Then they have my number. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know that person that I've just met.
I get it.
You know
I get it.
mean?
I get
like,
it. But I think I actually think it's so crazy because then again, like literally that it just proves to the point. Like I understand what you're saying because it's like a safety thing, but it now makes this like I genuinely over the course I can think of so many girls that things I did on my social media, and they weren't like heinous things.
Yeah.
They were just like the way you like post your things or the way you do your stories. I don't like that, so I'm not interested anymore. And like so that all matters.
I think that's a big Vancouver thing.
I don't know. But you would say that.
No, but I'm telling you because like where I grew up, that wasn't a thing. That was never a thing. Yeah, and listen, and I personally can say that I've never like not dated or like pursued a guy because of their Instagram account. I can personally say that.
I don't think girls see someone's Instagram account and go like, I'm gonna want to date them now. I think it's more of a like you have to have a good Instagram and social media like presence for a lot of girls.
But again, I'm saying that is a very Vancouver thing because when I moved here, in fact, just before I moved to Canada, I did a massive clear out of all my social media, and I because just over the years I think I had around like 1.5k followers, which isn't anything crazy. It's just people that I'd met throughout my time at school, college, university, and then out and about, you know, like it was just people. And I did a massive clear out of like, you know what, if this person I don't talk to, I don't like care about their life, I'm unfollowing them and I'm removing them from my follower list. And I put my follower list like way down to like under 100. Right. And then when I got to Vancouver and started meeting people here, because I didn't know anyone, I would have like girls come up to me and be like, oh, like people still think like before I deleted Instagram, I've never like deleted any of my posts, and I had probably around like 1,000 posts, just pictures, and like that's not cool to like have that many photos, you know. Like most girls now will have like, I don't know, like 9 photos, and then if they post a new photo they have to like delete an old one. It's very like social media centered, and girls would come up to me and like tell me that like
my Instagram wasn't up to scratch. It wasn't this, it wasn't that. And I'm like, well, like, what do you mean?
Yeah, but I feel like certainly if you ask Jamie and Neve back home when they're single, if they're looking at guys, they'll go on, they'll use their Instagram as a thing that they judge them off of, or maybe their TikTok now. I don't
Well,
know.
they'll probably like go on to like check them out. Yeah. Like if you like match with someone, you're just gonna go like check their Instagram and like see what they have on there. But I don't think
I think it's not just Vancouver. I think that's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a very Vancouver thing. I think if you were single while you were up living in Kitimat, it would be a whole different story.
We'll never know. Okay. This is a huge pivot here.
Okay.
So imagine you can go back in time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to go back to medieval times.
Yep.
And we're going to go to Warwick Castle, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all the farmers outside, and they're dumb as can be because they're farmers and they sleep in poop huts.
Poop huts.
And the king eats too much and is big and fat. And imagine you're there in those times, and you have a cell phone. Okay, so you have my iPhone 15.
Yeah.
Jumbo screen.
Mm-hmm.
And it has all the features of it has now.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing you show them is Homelander from The Boys. And you just show them all of The Boys. And whenever it's like, oh my, what's going on there? You tell them, you're like, this is the future.
Why would you do that?
Just to be like, because like, imagine
Just to
how
fuck
much
with them?
it freaked them out so much. They'd be like, what? And it's like this blonde-haired psycho that's like blowing people up with his eyes and shit.
I don't even know if they'd like fully grasp the concept of what was happening.
I just thought that would be too funny. I just had that picture in my head, and they're all like, oh, freaking out. And they're like, because like, it'd be radical. They'd be tripping out because there's buildings. They wouldn't even, and then the fact that there's some flying white dude, and like superheroes don't exist or anything even close to that, right? So they'd all be like,
well, there was Robin Hood.
yeah, but I don't think they pictured Robin Hood to be able to fly.
With laser eyes.
With laser eyes.
He's just blowing up kings' heads.
How would you feel about if we moved on to our buy and sell?
Yeah, I'm down to do buy and sell.
Yeah, you want to do some buy and sells?
Sure, we can buy and sell.
Okay, so last week's buy for me was barbecuing for 80.
Yep.
And yours is sleeping in for 2 days straight. And then the sell was phone issue with GarageBand. And yours was House of Dragons ending. Oh, okay. Do you want to go first on either of those, or would you like I to go first?
Well, do you have any like general buy and sells?
I don't this week again, unfortunately.
Wow,
it's just been a
you're
busy week.
really lacking.
I know this week has been it's actually been a harsh week in terms of content stuff because I've just been so busy with like
we've been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with if I'm able to like sit and think, but if I'm busy doing things, I don't have really time to like put down stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna go with my buy of the week. Gotta go with the shout out to Colin Sheen's performance. That was amazing. My buy of the week is Theater Under the Stars, Colin's rock band performance or School of Rock performance.
Yeah. My buy would be having my mom here.
Oh, right.
Because they're just like really nice.
Okay, yeah. And for especially, I mean, it's always good to see your mom, but it's awesome to see her with Juliet.
Yeah, I think that's what's really nice. Like, obviously, my parents don't get to see Juliet as much as they'd like to because we don't live very close to them. But when they do, it's just like it's so nice. And my mom is like obsessed with Juliet. Juliet loves her. They have a ton of fun, and it's just it's really nice.
It's really cute.
So that's my buy.
Okay.
What's your sell?
Honestly, my sell of the week. This is. I'm just sick and tired of negative people. So I'm selling negative people, and I say that because
that's very fair.
I don't know. With my job, I just have to deal. I don't want to say all my clients are like negative people. They're not, but you do through like regular / just people that are random too come in. You just get a lot of negativity.
Yeah.
And I'm selling on it because, okay, I'm not stupid. I don't think you can stop bombs with positivity. Like, I'm not naive, but I genuinely think a lot of issues come from like speaking and thinking negatively.
Yeah.
It kind of like breeds more of that, and then it like builds
100%.
momentum, and like things like grow into major negative things through it. Like, and then example, when you go to war, tensions, everyone's like down, even like right now. And then whenever wars end, it's always because people like go start talking peace and positive, like that side of it, and then inevitably that's what will lead to like peace and ceasefires and stuff. So I know this isn't, I'm not referring to wars ending. I'm just saying I'm sick and tired of people coming in and just being negative, and it's not, I respect negativity if you've had like something bad happen. Oh, I just found out bad news. Okay, you're sit down a bit, but like if your overall being is negative, I'm selling you.
Yes. I support that 100%. I think negativity breeds negativity.
Amen.
Negativity.
Negativity.
Negativity. My sell for the week would be... Oh, okay. I had a bit of a road rage incident yesterday or the day before. I don't know. I didn't tell you about it.
Okay.
I didn't have the baby in the car with me.
Where was
but
the baby?
she was here with Mom. It was on my way back from work.
Oh, okay. So this is today.
No, this was Tuesday.
Okay.
And I had a little road rage accident. Because there was this stupid bitch who was literally, so I was driving back from work, my route back from work, and it was on Marine, and I was turning onto 16th there, and she was driving at like 25 the whole time. Stupid, for one. But here's the hilarious bit, okay? So she had this sticker on the back of her car that was like, it said a bunch of stuff in like pride flag colors, and it was like Black Lives Matter, something else, kindness is key, like free Palestine, like all of this shit, right? In pride flag colors. And I was reading it, I was like, haha. And then she's driving at 25. The green arrow to go on 16th was on, and she was braking. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? We're both turning here, bitch. Like, go. So she goes, and then she's driving so fucking slow. So I'm driving right up her ass. Because I'm passive aggressive also. And
I don't think it's passive aggressive if you're driving right up their ass.
It's a little bit passive
It's just
aggressive. Okay. Well,
there's
a little
no
bit
like,
aggressive.
are they doing anger? Are they angry at me that you're like up their ass?
But
like,
then at the lights at Fell, they were green, and she starts braking, and I'm like, go, bitch. And this is when I start getting pissed off, and I'm like, beep, 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 just like aggressively beeping. And then she drives even slower, and I'm like, this bitch. So when I go to turn on to friggin'
the one up to ours.
The one up to ours, yeah. I don't know what that road is.
I don't even know. Delbrook?
It's like the beginning of Delbrook, yeah.
But what's it called before Delbrook?
Westview Drive. Yeah. So as I go to turn onto Westview Drive, I like fucking like slam, because she was going straight. I slam to like on my speed to like go into the lane, because she's doing it to piss me off now, and I know. And she's like throwing her finger up at me and like yelling at me, and I'm just like, I'm obviously doing it back because that's the type of person I am. But I just found it really funny because she had the sticker on the back of her car that was like, kindness is key, and she was just like being so aggressive.
I'm not surprised to hear the LGBT BLM pro-Palestine person is going 25 and yelling at everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm just not surprised. They're like, you gotta be more kind as you fucking get out of my fucking way. I'm going 25. You're like, fuck you.
Anyway, that bitch is my sell of the week.
All right, I like that.
Yeah.
Fuck that bitch. Yeah, I actually, it makes me sad because I love driving. I don't want autonomous cars in terms of I like to drive, but I genuinely think overall it's a net positive for us to have autonomous cars.
I like, even if they became a thing, I would still not.
No,
I don't trust anyone's driving apart from my own.
Yeah, but that's exactly why autonomous is the way to go, because that dumb bitch, she can have her stupid shitty driving skills, but if you're in an autonomous car, it doesn't matter.
Well, I feel like everyone else can have autonomous cars, and then I'll drive. A stick shift.
That's not. You'll go to a stick shift. You'll revert
shift.
back. I do love a stick shift.
I love a stick shift.
If I had multiple cars, I'd want one of them to be a stick shift.
Stick shift cars are sexy. There's just something like really like horny about driving a stick shift.
I mean, even just going down a hill and using the gears to slow down is like, it's just sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's two things we want to talk about. One of them, I can't believe we didn't talk about this at all. Your mom's here.
Yeah, my mom's here.
I can't believe we called I was thinking we skimmed over that big event. And then I have one closing thing I'm going to close with, but let's talk about your mom first.
Okay. Julie.
What she brought me, Joach. It's so funny. I've actually decided from now on, our target audience is just Joach.
Yeah.
And then anyone else that's listens, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We love you. But
this is Joach's podcast. This is all for you, Joach.
I told him. So Joach, we got to announce the winner of the burger sweepstakes.
It's Joach.
It's Joach.
It's the one person that actually responded.
And I told him, I was like, I think I'm gonna make you the burger. Like, I'm gonna bring all the gear after a soccer game. I'm just gonna cook just
one burger
in front of everyone.
You should for sure do that.
And then I'm gonna put like on the table.
It's like you
Rain
want
City Variety Pod, Pancake Friday.
It's like, if you want a burger, listen to our podcast.
I'm gonna do it. Because I do own that burger. Okay. Your mom's here.
Yes.
She brought me a brand spanking new Liverpool jersey.
She did.
She does it every time.
She does it every
and
time.
I love it every time. It's so sweet.
I think she really likes it because I'm my mom's only child. And my mom wah 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 wah. And I have just never been into sports, and my mom is a huge Liverpool fan. So having Derek is literally like having a son that likes football that she can just like give all the Liverpool stuff to. She also bought Juliet a Liverpool kit. Yeah. And then Derek the new jersey. So I think that's just a fun thing for her to do as well.
Yeah, it's sweet. I'm down for it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been really cute seeing Juliet and your mom.
Yes.
I think it's super fun for your mom because she was acting like she is now when Juliet, like every other time, but Juliet was such a baby. She'd more just kind of be like, whereas now she actually like has a little homie that's like interacting with her more, which is super fun to see.
Oh yeah.
And I guess it's nice for you because you get a little bit more of a break time.
Yeah, I mean, I maintain like I'll never need a break from Juliet because she's just like she's an awesome baby as well. Like, she's not like super fussy. She's not like, I mean, she's crazy in terms of like she's very active, but it's never like she's never unmanageable.
Yeah.
Which is really nice, but it is nice for my mom to be here. I do get to do some stuff that I wouldn't do before, and all that jazz. So yeah, it's been really nice, and it's just, I feel like you have a kind of new appreciation for your mom as a mom. Like, now that I've become a mom, I kind of like get my mom more.
Yeah. It changes how your perspective on your parents for sure.
Yeah, massively.
Yeah, and it was cool. She got to come to the theater with us too, which was
Yeah,
nice.
it was, and she loves that kind of shit. She just, I think she just really enjoys being out here and spending time with us, and I just really enjoy having her here. So
Yeah, well, and also Neve's mom walks 10K a day minimum.
Yeah.
It's like her literal thing is
Yeah.
like it's her sport really.
yeah,
And I think that specifically North Vancouver is crazy for that.
yeah, it kills
because-
her.
Yeah, it's just like no matter where she's going, it's uphill.
Yeah.
She walks uphill to our place and gets home by going uphill.
You're like, how does this work?
Does that make any sense? Yeah. So yeah, and then I guess this weekend I'm away camping. You guys are at a. What are you doing?
So we're gonna tomorrow. Mom's babysitting, and I'm going out for cocktails, for girls' night out, with Sarah and Chloe.
Nice.
And then Saturday, I think we're gonna go down to the States, and then Sunday you're home, and we're gonna do movie day. You know what we're gonna do for movie day?
What?
Inside Out 2 is on Amazon Prime.
What?
To
I
rent.
thought we were gonna watch something else. That was sweet.
Yeah, but it's a movie day.
Oh right. What was the other one we were gonna watch?
The John Cena
The John
one.
Cena one,
Yeah,
yeah,
so that's a
okay.
Prime original.
That'll be a fun day.
But Inside Out 2 we can watch while Juliet's up, and then when
Sweet.
she goes for a nap or
Just so
whatever.
everyone knows, Neve's the one excited about Inside Out.
I
It's not
am
Julia.
so excited about Inside Out 2.
Okay, so I want to talk about a bold prediction I've made.
All
Okay?
right, shoot.
This is my Nostradamus prediction, but it's not about the end of days.
Okay.
Okay, so now that I say it out loud, it's not my Nostradamus prediction. Okay, so I have two clients that have long COVID, okay? Mm-hmm. One of them has long COVID and it affects them, but I'd say they're on the better end of what it can be, because
Yeah.
let's say there's like 100 symptoms. You can have one or 100. Like, and obviously if you have 100, it's way worse.
Yeah.
So one of them has felt like basically since they've got COVID, how old are they? I want to say both these people are in their mid 50s. Okay. They're close to retiring, but we're talking about like 6, 7, 8 years away from it. Okay.
Yeah.
So the one is just like they basically said they felt like they got COVID and then they got old. So
Yeah.
like they're tired and stuff. The other one literally has like she was my client before, all the way through and after. She got COVID before vaccines existed. Since then, she has been constantly ill to the point where she's had to leave her job. She's applied for disability from the government,
Holy.
but she couldn't get it because of her doctor. Because one thing that's crazy with long COVID is when you get tested for anything, you just are completely fine bill of health. So you're just complaining of a whole bunch of symptoms that won't appear on any tests.
Yeah.
But the problem with long COVID is like, this is a known thing, is there's a long COVID study going on right now, but they actually have no clue at why it is what it is. That it's idiopathic or not idiopathic, but it's just unknown. All they know is people have gotten COVID and then they get long COVID, which absolutely destroys them.
Yeah.
My prediction, I think that long COVID might have something to do with DNA and gene sequencing. And I think if you have certain genetics and you get COVID, I think it's possible that
Like you're more likely to get.
No, it's not more likely, you are. Like you, because that, like everything's genetics, right?
Yeah.
So like, for example, my heart, I have to watch out for my heart because of genetics, not because of my fitness levels.
Yeah.
Right? That's just, genetics matter a lot.
They do.
And so what I think it might be is, let's say you get COVID and you die. That's the worst genetics. Your body couldn't handle the virus. Let's say you get COVID and then you recover, but then you get this long COVID that rocks you like so severely from then on out. What my theory is I think you have something in your genes that allows COVID to attack your body's DNA. So, like, when people get radiation poisoning, what happens is their DNA starts unraveling, and that's how they're dying. I think it might be something to that effect. Not as dramatic as radiation, because radiation's like hyper intense, but like my client, the stuff she tells me, it makes no sense to me other than I just feel like her body is like breaking down.
Yeah.
And it's really intense. Anyhow, that's my prediction. I think what they're going to come out with long COVID is, I think there's going to be something to do with it attacks the like genetic structure of your DNA if you have it bad.
Yeah. Well, I feel like as well, like it would have to be something along those lines, because it's not like, obviously a lot of, when COVID first came out, it was very if you're immunocompromised, then you're at like higher risk of complications. But speaking from personal experience as someone who is immunocompromised, like I've had COVID a fair few times now, and it's never really been that bad. I've never been hospitalized for it.
You did go to the hospital once.
I went to the hospital once, but that's because I just didn't think it was COVID. I thought it was something else. Remember we went to the hospital because I thought I had shingles.
Yeah.
Because it was body pain.
Yeah.
And I've had shingles before, and I know what shingles feels like.
I've been to the hospital, I've been to the doctors. No, was it the hospital twice? Once for sure, that one time when I was supposed to go to Bowron and I bowed out and then I ended up in the hospital.
Yeah.
And then was the other time, did I go to the hospital or the clinic? I think it was the emergency clinic.
I think you went to a clinic, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like but again, like even that it's not technically classed as like an extreme case. Like, you know what I mean? Like there are people who are on ventilators and shit like that. I would have said pregnancy made me more sick than COVID did. And like, when COVID first came about, I was freaking out because I'm like, oh, I'm immunocompromised. If I get COVID, I'm gonna die.
What about this Mpox one?
I think that's a non-issue. Until there's cases in Canada, it's a non-issue to me.
There is cases in Ontario, but it's like minor outbreaks. Yeah. But I don't know. I always am skeptical of sexually transmitted diseases, because I'm like, how, like, I get it's like it can spread via that, but like the population, if you're not sexually out and about with multiple partners, then it shouldn't be a worry.
Well, if I get Mpox, then I'm looking at you, bitch.
From me? What?
Who else am I gonna get it from?
The peaches.
The
peaches carry it.
The peaches carry the Mpox.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that was a pretty good episode. Is there anything you got like to get off your chest?